Hello and welcome to Aftermatch Aftermath. Myself, James and Jake are here this week and we're going to be talking about, well, you're in for a treat. We're going to be talking about Brighton, Ajax and the Wolves game which just happened, along with a look forward to the week ahead. I had to pop out during the Brighton game, so I didn't see all of it. But James or Jake, do you want to summarise for us?
We're not going to go too deep into this.
I'll summarise it in one word, and then I'll let Jake take over. Disappointing.
Yeah, it was a bit. Obviously, game ended 1-1. We're not going to go into all the subs that they're going to play because it's, as to quote James, 12 years old. But the main drama around that match was the VAR call at the end for a penalty given by Andy Robertson, kicking the foot of Brighton player I forgot the name of.
Was it Welbeck?
Yep.
Yep, Welbeck. And so we're just going to quickly go into the thoughts of that. What do you guys think?
Well, without VAR, it wouldn't have been a penalty. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I can't deny there was contact. I feel like if that is a penalty, then fine. If that's now what a penalty is, then that's fine. Yeah. I said I can recall one. I think it was it maybe Salah against West Ham a while ago, who got Salah got a penalty for a similar thing, which is fine.
I was gonna make.
But then since then, I feel like there's been like a lot of games. I think there was a few in a Chelsea game, there's a few in a United game, very very similar incidents, and they weren't called for penalties. So it's like just be consistent on what you're saying is a penalty or not, because I feel like there was very little in it.
I mean,
I can't deny there was contact, but I feel like there's no way that would normally be a penalty because there was such little in it.
Well, that's the thing as well. Like the inconsistency with the clear and obvious error deal is like if you've got to look at it for 5 minutes and then call the referee over because even you're not sure and you want him to take a second look at it, then obviously he didn't make a clear or obvious error.
Yeah.
So you should go with the ruling on the field, which was no penalty at the time.
That's gone completely out the window and it's ridiculous.
It has. It's gone down to like splitting hairs, literally, in some cases. So
yeah. How about Jota's goal?
Good. Like that's it. It was a good goal.
Good goal.
He striked it well.
Yeah,
it was an awkward angle as well. So
it's been a while since I've seen it, to be honest. But
so a bit disappointing. I mean, it's typically Liverpool who managed to snatch a late goal to win the game. It's a shame that they suffered a late goal to end up
especially
dropping the points.
But under the circumstances as well, with it being like a dodgy penalty call and all that. But
I mean, this might be a bit different to your guys' thoughts and a bit dramatic, but I struggle to even really call that a penalty because it's a contact sport. You can see Robbo's intention is just to try and kick the ball away, and Welbeck just happens to have his foot there. He clips his foot, and then if you actually watch it back, from what I remember, he goes down after about 10-15 seconds.
I guess it's down to interpretation. I mean, does he miss the ball and does he clip Welbeck? He does. Does Welbeck go down late? Yes, he does. It's something that I will probably bring back up again when we discuss Wolves. But yeah, it's annoying. But again, I mean, from the parts I did see, I don't think Liverpool. I mean, if Liverpool did enough and gave a bit more and got a few more goals, it wouldn't have mattered. But they didn't. They could have done more of the chances that they had.
Overall, I think.
At the end of the day, we could have done better.
It wasn't a great performance, and it was one of those where it didn't play great but didn't get away with it, because sometimes they don't play great and they still get away with it, but not today. Did you have either of you have a man of the match?
I can't even remember.
It was such a mixed bag.
I don't think I got one at the time. I'll have to just say Jota for the goal.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I'll probably go Jota as well.
Okay.
Just want to put one more point on that as well.
Point away.
I was gonna say to end the VAR talk, but no doubt it'll probably come back up in the Wolves game. Is if you're having a weekly discussion about if VAR is good or not, or if it's working, it's probably not working. So just would like to make that point.
Just really need to be consistent. Because,
and not even just for Liverpool.
I appreciate what it does, but
it's a weekly discussion involving any team in the Premier League. You can guarantee, even if Liverpool is not, or has already played and there's been nothing, there will be another team that will be involved in some sort of VAR controversy.
I'm trying to think. My mind's gone blank. Where was it? Was it actually Brighton with the apparent offside as well, or was that a different game?
Which one?
The one
for which offside?
Was it Salah scored, and then I think the player was like turned, and like I think I said to you at the time they've marked it from his right foot, but from where he was stood.
That was Brighton as well. Yeah.
Because I actually saw, I think, on the internet an actual someone actually did a very detailed and in-depth look at it and did actually put the models on, because they said exactly what I was saying, based off where the line is, and you're looking at it from an angle, and if you stand the way he was stood on his right foot, but his left side of the body was closer to his side of the goal. Mm-hmm. And from where you were stood, I actually think his shoulder and his hip were probably closer to the goal.
I believe,
than what it was.
I've seen a lot of these posts. I believe that's how the Dutch league does VAR.
Yeah, because I don't know why.
Asking for us to follow their sort of lead with.
Yeah, because
with how I've
seen
VAR.
it. You see it in horse racing, or even maybe F1, like the photo finishes. If you do it perfectly down the sideways on, side view on.
It just brings it's literally like, if you can go offside when you're attacking for your armpit being on, or sorry, offside, then surely, the opposite way when you're defending applies as well.
I agree. It was too close to call, and also I really think they drew the line from the wrong body part, because I think that was nonsense.
Anyway,
and I feel like you were robbed there, but hey ho, let's move on to a bit more of a positive game, the Ajax match. Liverpool went into this game knowing where if they got a win, they would not only qualify, but they would win the group guaranteed.
You say they went into it knowing? Jordan Henderson had no idea about looks of it.
Oh yeah, he didn't. Well, we knew. Some of them might have known. Our captain didn't, but I'm sure he would have been pleasantly surprised as well.
He was. Watch the
interview. He was. Yeah. So, right. Let me have a think.
I would say the main points of this and a lot of says on it.
Yeah, I think
obviously,
probably the biggest point is the fact that Kelleher was named in goal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, here's a quiz for you. Any of you know how to pronounce his first name?
I don't know what his first name is, so.
Kaomi him.
Quivine. Apparently.
What?
Quivine.
I was going to say, I'm sure I had that for breakfast the other day.
Quivine Kelleher.
Okay, I'll just call him
Kelleher.
Yeah, Kelleher.
Apparently his nickname is Queeve, but it feels wrong saying that.
No, let's not call him Queeve. Yeah. Very interesting move. Didn't realise. Apparently, Alisson felt a bit of according to Klopp, a little tiny itsy bitsy bit of his hamstring near the end of the Brighton game. So which was enough to keep him out for a bit. So up steps Kelleher, chosen over Adrian. Who, again, has never looked particularly great or confident in Liverpool's goal. Had a few mistakes. I feel like he can come in and do a job when needed, but
has
not.
One, so
yeah. But he can't put faith in Kelleher, which is big game. Obviously, so we had Kelleher there, Jones, who again, I feel like he's featured prominently in recent weeks, but and how he's developing and coming on. But yeah, you have to forget he's also a Liverpool youngster.
Would just like to clarify as well. Apparently, the reason Kelleher started over Adrian in goal was allegedly because I think it was a few weeks ago during the initial injury to Becker, where he was out for a while. He thought he'd be getting his run out a bit more and his chance to play during that little spell, and he didn't. So he came out in an article apparently being a bit unhappy about it and saying he might have to move on. So I think this might have been because of that, but I'm not 100% on that.
And Klopp said
Makes
they wanted him for his footwork, which obviously we've seen has been lacking from Adrian. Like that's probably his weakest part of his game. Is anytime they pass the ball backwards to him, you panic. So, according to Klopp, they played him for his footwork. But Klopp's never going to come out and say we've played him because he's having a bit of a hissy fit. So
yeah, he's having a bit of a sulk, so he decided to play him. But could be wrong, could be right. Either way, he played.
Yeah, he played, and how did he play? I will say, just to sort of like summarise, I thought like for the most part, I mean, sometimes you see a game and it's 0-0 at half time or not much happened. I mean, typically you'd say like if 0-0 at half time, more often than not, it's a fairly boring game. I thought this was a great game to watch myself.
It was very end-to-end.
I thought this was very lively, and I thought at half-time it's probably one of the more entertaining 0-0s at half-time I've seen for a while.
Back and forth.
It was very back. I mean, it was great for, I guess, somewhat a neutral to watch because it was very entertaining. It was nervy. It was nervy.
Could have genuinely gone either way at any point. But luckily...
Yeah.
You get a nice little cross in from our prospect right back. And it happens to land.
Yeah, and so...
Well, actually, so it looks like the goalkeeper went to try and save it, but just gave up, expecting no one to bother. And then Curtis Jones flying in there, nicely placed, calm, into the net.
Yeah.
Nice goal.
Nice little flick from a bit of a difficult angle with, I think, the outside of his right foot.
Yeah,
So I think it was Henderson collected the ball, passed it back to Nico Williams, who's been a bit hit and miss, and is probably a bit low on confidence because I think he got taken off at half time during Brighton because he wasn't great.
Well, you can see the penalty, didn't you?
Yeah, but then he was selected again for this, he put in the cross. He kept the clean sheet. Delighted for him. I think all of the youngsters did well. I mean, overall, I think that the whole team did well. I mean, they got over the line. They did what they had to do against quite a good team, to be fair.
Yeah.
Jones got the one goal, and that was ultimately all they needed to win the group.
Mm-hmm. So with that, have you guys got any man of the match shouts?
I have to give it to Kelleher. He was great. He, I think he stepped up to the role very, very well. Played with confidence and happy fun.
That one save he made as well, from like the downward header.
It was like 3 yards away.
Yeah, that was very reminiscent of that goal that Adrian let in. Remember, when we were all saying you have to be able to save them.
You have to
categorically have to save them. So it was almost like a mirror image of that. Goal, so
I can remember that where Adrian's like arms just suddenly became like was it like wavy on
inflatable
man? Yeah, him his like his arms just sort of like flop backwards and just let the ball just go in. Yeah, I remember that. I can't think of who that was against, but it wasn't a great moment.
I think it was Everton. That one.
And I was like to say, I mean, I know I've mentioned it, but I thought Curtis Jones was also excellent in this game.
Yeah, I'll give it to Curtis Jones since you're going Kelleher.
Yeah,
and also because I'm really critical of him all the time as well. But I actually think recent games, today included, and the Ajax game, he didn't put a foot wrong, and then he got that goal. So yeah, I'll go Curtis Jones.
We've also got to mention as well, it wasn't just that one goal. He did have a few chances. I know we take the mix sometimes in the sense that we've said that he just shoots if he gets the ball and gets in there half close to goal. But, I mean, he did that, but he had, two, well, maybe one, you could argue, close encounters where one, nearly spilled over the keeper and went in, and the other one hit the post. So, I've got to give it to him.
Right.
Anyway, onto the meat of it.
So, that was Champions League done. On to Wolves, who have been in decent form of late. They've been, I think they were. Where are they in the table? I think they were they sixth before the start of the game? I thought they were up there.
I think they might have been 7th, maybe.
Like that. Well, I can tell you they're now 10th, but I mean, granted, they are 10th on level points with West Ham in 7th. So,
wow, that's quite a tight table, isn't it?
Very tight grouping at the moment. I guess it's because there's been, I guess, especially with this like the strange season, like no crowds so far up till today or this weekend, but we'll come to that. And I guess like lots of teams have dropped points you wouldn't normally expect them to. So it's, I mean, and lot of surprise wins unless you're Sheffield United. So so Wolves, who have been decent, they've had a few decent results against big teams. I mean, they were certainly, I think, a top half table themselves. In with a shout of getting into Europa League potentially. I feel.
Yep.
So yeah, in comes another game, and initial thoughts of the team sheet after we settled that Kelleher was back in goal. Because that
shout out to Sky Sports and BBC.
Yeah,
I think
for getting the teams wrong initially. Yeah,
I mean, I would say it was the strongest possible team we could put out. I know, like you will
just remembered something.
Slightly question about not starting Jota, which is a bit of a strange one, especially considering the Champions League's out the way now. But also, I don't know. It's nice to just go back to the front three, innit?
Yeah, I mean,
instead of playing about with this front four.
You could
deal all the time.
maybe argue that Jota didn't know his play, so that because obviously this is his old team, they wouldn't want to play him against his old team because they might know him too well. But
there's sometimes elements of how will he react. Will he particularly want to play against his old team? Will they be able to suss him out? I mean, some players it doesn't faze them at all, but I also particularly feel like if for Brighton, if Lallana had started, I don't think he probably would have had a great game against Liverpool. I mean, he probably would have just scored an own goal for his Bezzy
anyway. Didn't he come on for like 5 minutes and then go off?
Yeah, I think.
I still don't know the reason why. I assume injury.
I didn't see this, but I do believe he's been out injured, came on, and then went off injured immediately. So I do feel sorry for
He's not had a very good time
for the guy.
No.
It's a shame because like if they keep him fit, I thought it'd be a cracking signing for them.
Yeah.
But anyway, so back to Wolves. How did
team
things?
Sheet, not really a surprise to me.
Yeah. No surprise, and we saw that Alexander-Arnold and Naby Lad were back in training, but I don't think any of us expected them to start. I thought that.
We all thought. I think
it said maybe
at least.
They'll probably come on.
Klopp had said in their press conference. Yeah.
So, want to take us into Nico's early antics?
Yeah, I wasn't. It was a bit of a weird one. 2 minutes in, was it Neto? I think maybe was run up on the left and got past Nico, who then decided he wanted to pull his arm, pull him back. Luckily, he did it before he got to the box, but immediately got booked for it.
Yeah, it's never great, really, is it?
It's a rookie mistake.
Where you where you get booked that early on and you're a defender, it puts you in a bit of a difficult position for the rest of the game. You have to really be careful.
With it being him as well, because I feel like when teams are coming to Liverpool now, while Trent is out, although he's back now, everyone's been targeting Nico's side. So for him to then have a yellow card on top of that, it's like, right, he's already the weakest side, but double down now because he can't commit to challenges in case he gets another yellow. So, but to be fair, I feel like Wolves didn't make the most of that.
No, it didn't seem like it.
They had Traore on the opposite side, and obviously they're going to play everything to Traore for his speed. But they probably should have committed more down Nico Williams' side.
Yeah, because looking at their lineup as well, that side isn't actually even too bad. They had Neto, Neves, obviously they had Marcel at the back as well. I mean, that's not they're not as fast as Traore, but they're not bad. They're not to shrug off.
I mean, I think it's just a case
they can hold their own.
Like so. That's how Wolves play. Essentially, give it to Traore and then get in the box to receive a cross.
Yeah.
And obviously, they're just not capable of like changing that on the fly. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like before the first big moment of the game, I know from memory, it seemed to be in this game, Mane had so many chances and he just couldn't seem to find that final pass or made the wrong decision or maybe a heavy touch or just didn't, I don't know.
Yeah, well, actually...
It was a bit uncharacteristic, and I feel, in the first half.
Because we never really covered the last two games in much detail, I do want to say Mane has looked off it for a while now. He didn't have he had an awful game against Brighton. He didn't really do too much with Ajax, and I wouldn't say he had a bad game today, but he had a number of chances that any other day he would have finished. So I don't know, he's a bit off the mark at the moment, Mane.
I guess, it happens, I guess. It's a strange one because even though he didn't score, I feel like again it was a cracking performance from Bobby Firmino.
Bobby's been looking great recently.
So
despite the fact that he's not assisting or scoring, he's looking really good. But
then it's been strange because I guess as of Jota's stole the line from the front three for him to some extent. So typically though, when one of them isn't looking good, the other one pops up. So did any of the others pop up?
Yeah, I think Salah had a good game.
I think Mo Salah might have had a decent little game.
Yeah. I think he might have popped up. So in the was it 24th minute, a gift for Conor Cody?
Yep.
I'm trying to think when he was
early Christmas gift.
Christmas
ho,
gift.
Ho ho ho! It's Mo.
So great. Well, we don't have our outro quotes, but if we did, there we go.
That's a good one. I like that.
So yeah, bit of defensive confusion with Conor Cody. I think had a fairly straightforward job of trying to deal with the ball, but he made a bit of a mess of it.
I think he just underestimated Salah's speed. He thought he had time to bring it down, control it, and play it on.
Yeah, and tenacity.
And Salah was just on top of him, before the ball even hit the floor. It hit his chest before it was on the floor. Salah was there.
Yeah. He just thought he'd give up because he'd chested it, and that would be it. He'd immediately.
I think if Salah had been closer, he would have headed it away. But I think he's just misjudged Salah's speed and thought he's got time to bring it down and control it, and he absolutely did not.
Which was a disappointment, which ended up in the back of Rui Patricio's goal.
Yeah, also you have to say phenomenal finish from Salah as well. It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't an easy goal by any means.
More far post, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I had a bad angle as well, I'd argue.
Cracking finish. Well done, Salah. I didn't see much of him in the game up until this point. But the thing about him is, he's always got that in his locker. Salah can have a quiet game, and then all of a sudden, he has a moment, and then that's all he needs. so.
Yeah, we've mentioned it before in our chats recently, but for some reason, people just didn't want to play Salah into a lot of the recent games. We've said it a few times, and I think there was the Brighton one to start it. Then we noticed it again for Ajax, and then we were starting to notice it for this one. But
namely Curtis Jones very early on. It could have played Salah in.
Good counter.
Decided to go all the way on his own, which it's fine when you're 4-0 up, but not when it's 0-0.
It was 0-0, and I can't, I've said this before. You could try and argue maybe that Curtis was I can't get that pass off. I'm not good enough to get that pass off, but I think you probably could. If you've got
he could have tried, because I just don't think it was going to go anywhere.
Try,
and it didn't.
And I think Curtis has got that type of ego as well, where he would think that he wouldn't put himself down to a point where he thinks he couldn't pass.
I will say,
the ball in.
Having midfield players that are willing to take shots on is like a good thing. Like that's what the Ox used to do, and that's what he brought to the table. Like, and we've been missing that because we've been missing Ox for so long. And Keita's more of a creative midfielder as opposed to someone that will just take a shot. And Curtis is that. I just think at the moment he doesn't pick his moments correctly.
Yeah,
but he'll learn. He's still young,
lacking a bit of judgment.
He is only young, and I think because of the injury, like especially Liverpool have been hampered by a lot of midfield injuries. I feel like he's probably getting a lot more game time than what he would have expected, and it probably wouldn't have been a planned part of his development for him to be playing this often. I mean, I feel like he's playing out of necessity.
I mean, you got to give hats off to him for that reason as well, though. Like,
oh, absolutely.
He's taking his moment.
He's had to. I mean, he's had to be a starter for a lot of games because there's been that many injuries, and he's doing an incredible job. So I mean, all credit to him. And said he is a very young lad as well, very very good young prospect, and I hope they manage him and look after him because I feel like he'll be a good one for the future and for this season. To say, like, not too long later, he did actually go down, but thankfully Jones got back up again because you're never going to keep him down. So yeah, it was a bit of a concern for a minute, but I feel like I don't know, the young lads, they just get a scrape on the knee, it's nothing, get back up again, they're fine.
Yeah, you've got to praise that as well, because they're all fighting for their chance to prove themselves, so they're not likely to go down and stay out as easily.
Also, he's a Scouser as well. Like, he's homegrown, he's playing for Liverpool. He's not coming out of that team unless like his leg is broke. Do you know what I mean? Nothing is going to keep him from playing.
Yeah, and also, I mean, he's a Scouser playing for Liverpool in front of home fans for the first time.
Yeah,
that they've seen Liverpool since they won the league. So that's big moment for the Scouser in our team until later on. Right. So I feel like just before there was a bit of a controversial moment. When I say it, I mean it wasn't really controversial, but it was a VAR check. But just before that, I want to mention Bobby's nutmegging the Wolves players.
Yeah. Oh, there was a few
incredible
of these, actually,
stuff. Incredible stuff.
There was a few.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was just like, yes, this is Bobby.
Cheeky. He was being a proper baller this game. Like,
it was 2 nutmegs.
I know it normally is, but yeah.
I believe he's on a career total of 2,002 nutmegs now.
He's catching up to the year. Wow, what a guy. I mean, every single time like I saw him do it, like I can't think of the video or the meme, but there's like definitely a video clip of him and he's got the cheekiest little smile on his face. And every time I can just picture him doing that, and I was like, to be fair though, you love to see it because it's only that because obviously for a time, like a few games ago before he got his goal, I think against Leicester, he's been a bit low on confidence, and the fact that he's taking these on, like this is I mean, and I think a lot of his play today was a man who is confident now. He can see he's getting his groove back.
I mean, I was just about to mention there was a chance in there. I think it was first half where Mane crossed it in, and Bobby tried to do like a weird back heel spin into the goal, which I think it got blocked, but had he not been getting marked, I think that would have quite easily gone in, and what a goal that would have been.
I mean, that's his prime first, Bobby, that, like. Yeah,
especially his first goal back in front of fans. Can you imagine the crowd if that had gone in?
But
they were already singing Si Senor before he'd even before anything even happened.
Crowd was phenomenal.
There was a time when he wasn't even trying that stuff, so like it's good that he's, like Craig said,
getting his confidence back.
He's back, basically.
Giving it a go,
He might not have scored, but like he had a go. And we used to see him score that kind of goal all the time. We used to see him do these fancy little plays all the time. And that's back now. Like, it didn't work out that time, but the fact that he's having a go again and he's trying means
that was just
confident.
Unlucky that it didn't work out that time. He just happened to be getting marked and in a bit of a bad situation.
Aftermatch with confidence is a very dangerous proposition for opposition defenders. So just after that, the ball was in Liverpool's box. Cody tries to get to the ball and Mane attempts an overhead clearance.
Yeah, I think this came from the corner, didn't it?
Yes.
Was it? I think it was a corner, and then it was all scrambled.
Cody goes
kept
down,
going,
and
yeah.
before we saw anything back, it was the referee blew. I was like, oh no. I was just like, I initially saw this and thought, that is a penalty. I mean,
yeah,
I saw it.
And I will say,
and then
I wasn't having any of it from the word go.
I
said in the chat, they'll give it. I fully expected them to give it, but
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a penalty at all.
Yeah. I saw it and thought immediately there was contact, so I was like, that's it. Fuck's sake, what was that, Mane?
And then from the moment I saw it back, where I saw that Mane went for it, then pulled out of it, and the fact he didn't touch Cody at all, and then Cody just dived and collapsed to the ground, I was getting ready to type a full-on... I was getting ready to go nuclear for when this penalty was given. Because it was like it would have been disgraceful had
this
it
would have been
given.
an entirely different episode had that have been given.
They couldn't I bet they scrutinised that pixel by pixel looking for the contact because they were probably desperate to give that penalty.
His shoelace hit him.
I mean, I don't... Can VAR... can they make that decision without the ref having to go to the monitor?
I don't...
Because if they can, they should have just done it then and there.
Wait, make what decision?
Can they overrule the ref?
To cancel out his
No, because if you're overruling the referee, I think he has to see it. Yeah, I think you have to say to him, look, I think you've made a mistake here. Do you want to go and look at it again?
Right. Okay. In that case, they're fine. Otherwise, I would have just been like, I don't know how they didn't just call it and overwrite it anyway.
Yeah.
But,
I'm surprised that they didn't notice that Mane's kick whipped up a blade of grass that hit him on the leg or something like that. But wow, so
the backdrop
it went to VAR. The ref checked it, saw that there was no contact and that he dived, and then decided it was not a penalty. So a VAR decision went in Liverpool's favour.
But I will interject and stop me there. I know we've had some bad calls.
When I say favour, I mean just a VAR decision was correct for Liverpool.
Yeah,
that's more what I mean.
A VAR decision was correct.
But I will say, I know we've said this for other ones as well. Had that been given, I think there would have been... I know there's already been uproar about VAR every week, but that would have been a new level, I think.
I mean, I don't think there's any way.
Slander.
That would be illegal, surely. There was
think
no
that would be
contact. Someone would have to get involved somewhere over that.
Especially, I don't know if it was played during the match, because I think I was typing to you guys that did, but another post-match went into it, and they played it back, and they zoomed into it, and it was literally not even, a graze or anything. It was literally just didn't touch him at all. So there was nothing to give there, and if that had been given, I think the amount of uproar, not even just from Liverpool fans, just from fans, of football in general, would have just been VAR would have just got destroyed, basically. I think it would have been a new low, and it's already at a low at the moment, but luckily we avoided that and carried on with the game.
Okay, and that pretty much saw us to half time.
Yeah, I feel like I was thinking at half time we definitely need another goal because 1-0 is not enough against Wolves.
Yeah, I think we all were. I mean, I never get comfortable with a 1-0 lead.
I mean, it depends on the team,
until the whistle goes.
In fairness, Liverpool looked in control of this game the whole way through, I thought.
They did, but I know from football anything goes, and you can literally get a nice little cheeky... I mean, look at the Leicester game beforehand. It was 1-1 until the very end, then Vardy scored literally the 89th minute. That can happen anywhere, I think.
I mean, it can, right. But there are certain teams Traore for me is he's always dangerous. You're 1-0 is not a 1-goal lead is not enough.
Yeah, even if I don't know if he scored for a while, but even if he doesn't score, his pace on a counter attack with a nice cross at the end very easily could ruin your day. So yeah,
so
I'm never comfy with 1-0, but I also wasn't comfortable, especially so in this one.
Do you want to take us through the early event of the second half?
Who, me?
You can if you want to.
Let me get the replay. So I was expecting a change due to the fact that Nico was on a yellow, and
did not happen.
Earlier in the week, we'd seen something else United Champions League suffered the same fate. But no changes. So we begin the second half, same team, and up pops up a chance for Wolves, which was quite quickly shut down immediately with a counter attack with Gini Wijnaldum taking a goal from the other end.
What a time! What a time!
What a goal!
Well, what a goal as well! Wonderful.
Perfect placement.
Lovely, like curve, got a nice bit of curve on it. Cracking shot.
Yeah, it was world class. It was an absolutely phenomenal goal.
Yeah,
and first goal in front of the Kop with a crowd back since, obviously since COVID. And it was Gini Wijnaldum.
First goal this season.
Yeah, he whipped out his magic lamp, and he got a lovely goal. I mean, he does it all the time for Holland. So thanks for thanks for that one, Gini. Appreciate it.
Showing us what you do for Holland. But what I didn't notice is he did, as he said he would. He did Big Verge's celebration. Who was sitting in the stands at Anfield.
He was. I think he was seen on social media and things. In Liverpool's training centre early this week. So it looks like his long road to recovery at least seems to be going well for him at least, which is good news. Yep. Still a long way off, but it's good to see that it seems to be progressing and he's actually up and doing some actual work, which is great. Yeah. So I remain hopeful that I feel like in terms of it, he'll be on the sooner end of the scale rather than the longer end of the scale for his return. Still a long way off. I mean, I don't think we'd be lucky to see him before April, but I feel like we're getting there.
I mean, it's a good start.
Yeah, very good start.
See him back
Keep
in.
it coming. And I mean, before long at all, we had a corner.
Yeah, it wasn't even 10 minutes, I don't think.
Yeah. So we had a corner, and I'm trying to think
under.
who. I'm trying to think who whipped the ball in.
Salah.
With a beautiful cross. Yeah.
What a guy. So I feel like there was Matip, and there was someone else quite close to him that also went for it. I can't remember who it was. Fabinho. And so Matip got his head to it and scored a cracking headed goal. Very rare goal from Joel Matip, but
the last one was August last year.
But I feel like Matip doesn't play that often because he's either injured or Joe Gomez is playing. But also, Virgil is usually our aerial threat, so when he's on the field, any corner is you're aiming for Virgil. Obviously, at the moment, we don't have that, and I think Matip, I would imagine, was probably the tallest on the field at the time. So he's our new aerial threat. It's nice to see that he can do it.
He's done it a few times, but yeah, that'll give him great confidence. I just really hope that he didn't shatter his glass leg celebrating. But no, he didn't. Absolutely cracking. And then pretty much as soon as that goal went in, a welcome return. I said Williams was replaced by the return of Alexander-Arnold for a run out for the last 20 minutes, which is great to see.
Again,
good to see Trent back. Yeah, we had two Scousers then.
Are they going to have to change a song?
One of the Scousers in our team.
It'll just change it to a Scouser in our team.
Yeah.
And Scouser. Shout out to Anne Scouser. I know you're listening. So not long after that, there was nothing was made of it at all, but Salah was doing his little tippy tap dancing in the box with some phenomenal footwork. It was just like Messi level. I mean, well, I guess Messi was like Salah level, it was just phenomenal. It's like the ball was just glued to his feet, and he was just it was incredible stuff, what he was doing. And then Cody knocks him.
He had a bit of a stinker. Cody
doesn't get the ball, and Salah goes down, and absolutely nothing is made of it at all. And I will say, in the days of old, it would be a case of get up, come on, get on with it. But
it's not
in terms of how No, in terms of how decisions have been recently, especially with the Brighton incident, I would say there was more in this I would say there's more in this than what happened with Andy Robertson and Welbeck for Brighton's penalty.
I remember saying to you guys,
wasn't even looked at.
The replay shows that he actually gets past Cody, and Cody just like doesn't even try and tackle. He just sticks his knee out and hits his leg. So Cody had a real stinker.
So I feel like, well, if Brighton showed us anything, I guess it would show that
make a performance.
Any kind of contact in the box where you don't win the ball, like, would be a penalty. And if that's what they're going for, that's
like
fine.
Your legs fell off.
The thing is, it's all about inconsistencies again, because
I know,
like, so, like, Robbo grazed Welbeck's foot, right? And then, not only was it just a slight graze, he went down late as well. Like, he decided after the fact, I'm going to go down for this.
Yeah.
It originally wasn't given as a penalty. Then, in fact, it was quite a while later as well, wasn't it? Like, they carried on playing and everything. Then VAR decided to take another look at it, call the referee back to look at it, and ultimately they gave a penalty for contact. With this, there was 100% contact in the box. Salah went down immediately, so there was no, like, he didn't stay on his feet and then decide, you know what, I'm going to go down. I felt contact. He went down straight away. There was contact. The referee didn't give a penalty, and VAR didn't decide to go back and look at it. Now, you could argue that, as Craig said, in days of old, that wouldn't have been a penalty. They would have just said, get up, carry on. So you could argue, clear and obvious, it wasn't a clear and obvious error by the referee, so we're not going to review it. But if that's the case, if that's the case, why was the other one reviewed? It's just inconsistencies again. Like, what are the rules with VAR?
It's either, despite VAR being
both of them are penalties, or neither of them are penalties.
I mean, it boils down to it's still operated by humans. But so it's essentially just another referee.
It's still operated by humans.
They want to check it,
but they don't. There's no rules. It seems it depends what that human thinks on the day. Like it's like there's no rule book for them to follow. Of like, like, are you using clear and obvious or not? Basically, like, make a decision.
The thing I'd argue as well is, like, you could maybe implement something like, I mean, I don't know how this would work in the long run, but are they actually impeded from doing anything further? Like Salah, you could argue in that one, yes, because Cody hit his knee into his leg, which made his knee or leg collapse, and then he had to go down to the ground. In the Brighton one, you could argue it wasn't, because obviously he went down late, he only chipped his foot, he still landed on it, he walked away a little bit and then went down. So it's like, I just don't understand. You're looking at one which the player could have carried on from, and obviously didn't hurt him that much if he goes down late and then makes a performance out of it. And not looking at one where you actually can't do anything in Salah's case. Like, he literally couldn't have got up and carried on if he wanted to. He literally had his leg bent in and gave way because of the way it was bent. It just baffles me how it's like, what do you expect him to do there? Wasn't a clean chance, didn't get the ball, went down, couldn't do anything.
One of the funniest interviews was when Kenny Dalglish was in charge of Liverpool, obviously the second time around in, well, when was it, maybe about 10 years ago, 9 years ago, like that. When he said in a post-match interview, I think one of our players will have to be assassinated for us to get a penalty. And I loved it. It was incredible. Oh, what a guy. King Kenny.
It probably still wouldn't then be given, because it'd be assassinated, so it wouldn't be noticed.
So no penalty, and pretty much with that, Jota comes on for Bobby Firmino, who I thought had a cracking game. I said, like, those very fancy footwork, didn't get a goal, but I think looked great.
I mean, I think we all agree it shouldn't have been Bobby at that point. Probably should have been Mane. But,
yeah,
you know,
Mane was. I feel like Mane was definitely one of the worst performers, in my opinion, in this game. But
not even for the fact that, like, because I mean, against Brighton he had a really bad game in all departments, but in it, like, I thought he played fine in this game. He just couldn't finish. Chances that he should have absolutely been.
He likes to take his time a lot more in the box, doesn't he? He's not as quick as Salah with his decision making.
Yeah.
Because you notice when he gets the ball and he goes in the box, Salah just tries to whip around defenders and dribble past them. Mane tries to like weigh up his options and test their reflexes and decide based on their reaction to him like faking them. And it's like that might not be working for him anymore because people are onto it.
I think potentially it might have been like a premeditated substitution to us. Maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe they want Jota, Mane, and Salah to get more time together as a front three, but it mattered very little because within minutes there was a bit of a kerfuffle.
I think it was
Trent
Alexander-Arnold assist to Nelson Semedo.
And Scouser in our team. He does a lovely little ball into the box, and there's a bit of, I don't know, it seemed to be like all of the world gathered on the same spot at the same time. There was Salah there, the goalkeeper
Salah
was there.
Went in thinking it was for him.
Semedo,
but then as the ball got closer,
yeah.
he could see Mane from the corner of his eye, so decided to leave it. Of course, in between them was Semedo, who tried to just like, I don't know what he was trying to do, to be fair. I don't know if he was trying to
Patricio, to be fair. Like, it was just a cluster.
Yeah, I don't know what Mane got to it. I think Mane touched it.
It was like those fights that you see in like Looney Tunes where it's just like a dust cloud and then a ball rolled out into the goal.
It was, yeah. I genuinely don't know what Semedo was thinking he was going to do if he got the ball in that scenario, though, because he was sandwiched between Salah and Mane.
I mean, I guess he was just trying to block it from reaching Mane, but
then he had Salah the other side of him.
The thing is, when you're in that situation, you either leave it and Mane scores, or you try and do something. And I guess he was just trying to do something. If he'd have done nothing, Mane would have scored. Ultimately, the ball went in the back of the net anyway. But I just think there wasn't much he could have done about it, really.
If you want to find out if sometimes leaving the ball is better, watch this week's Rocket League video. That'll be out on Thursday, so go check that out. Anyways,
swiftly moving on.
So 4-0 courtesy of an own goal. Cracking. Cop was absolutely bouncing. All the songs were coming out. Those fans were loving it, which was great. Great to see. And then before long, Henderson got a bit of a rest. He came on.
Hang on.
Okay.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hold your horses. Before that, there was a decent chance for Wolves.
There was.
Aït-Nouri running up there, the left side. Nice little chip in, testing the reflexes of Kelleher, who did a clean block. I would like the amount of time it took for him from standing up to down on the ground to block it must have been milliseconds. Yeah.
Milliseconds.
It was mental. Blink and you missed it.
It's like tacky time, but it's James Milner version.
So anyway,
just wanted to get that block in because it was a good one.
Well done, Kelleher. Well blocked.
Yep. Another clean
with those Milner second reactions. Very good. Right, so Henderson went off, and along comes Naby Keita, who also returning from injury along with Trent. Good to see we've got another midfielder in the ranks. He's been fairly injury prone during this time, so I'm always a bit dubious, but hopefully he can give us a bit of a.
He's back so quick after the Leicester thing. I think didn't he only miss the one game? Was it?
He hasn't missed many. But yeah,
I can't remember if we played Atalanta after Leicester.
Well, he's back
Either
anyway.
way.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. No. I don't know.
Not long.
He's back. Naby's back.
Genie got the armband, which I thought was interesting because when I saw Jordan coming off, I was like, he's going to get the armband, yeah. Because Milner's not on. Van Dijk's not on.
He is fourth captain.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because he captains Holland.
Well, only now.
Currently, doesn't he? Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, in the Liverpool rankings, he is fourth captain. Because I think they decided it a while ago at the time where Van Dijk was decided to be third captain. I think they also elected a fourth, which was Genie. Anything to say before full time?
Nothing I can think of.
No, nothing.
So, well, one thing I did want to mention. So, obviously, the full-time whistle went. Klopp and the cop. Right, Cop was absolutely bouncing. They were, again, I know I've mentioned them a few times. There was 2,000 of them, but I mean, like, I don't know whether like they amplified the volume for them or what on TV, but it sounded like there was 20,000 of them. They were absolutely loving it, singing all the songs all game. Then come full time, it was incredible. What scenes, punches. And then Klopp went up, did those fist punches to the crowd for the first. We haven't seen them for a while. What a moment! Absolutely love to see it.
Hasn't seen them since they won the Prem. No, even before then.
Well, yeah, before then. That's mad.
No.
So of course he was happy that they were back, as were they happy to be back. And I'll tell you what, if you were part of that crowd, if you were part of that 2,000 that went, and you're listening to this, good job. You did us proud.
You done
singing
good.
Those songs, giving the cheers when needed.
Yeah.
Really fulfilled the spirit.
Did a surprisingly long rendition of Si Senor. I mean, Si Senor probably retired by the time he finished singing Si Senor. But I mean, all for it, because Bobby was phenomenal this game and he deserves it, and I made up he got a very, very, very long rendition of his song.
I mean, apparently they were singing for players that weren't even on at the time. Apparently they're singing Virgil's songs.
Yeah. I heard Virgil van Dijk's song too.
He's That's not a huge rarity.
Sat around here somewhere.
Si Senor is so popular. Like there've been so many times I've been at Anfield and we've sang Si Senor when Bobby's not even on the field. Like, people just love that song.
Fair enough. It is a banger, to be fair.
So, who was your man of the match?
I'll let you guys start.
All right. Right. So, a couple of special mentions. First of all, Fabinho, phenomenal game. Robertson, incredible all game as well. Wijnaldum, I think the fact that he's played so many games and he's still going and got a spectacular goal today, special mention to him as well. I was torn between him and the person I'm going to give it to, which is Mo Salah. I think Mo Salah gets criminally underlooked because he's so good all of the time that people forget how good he is, but I just think he was absolutely phenomenal in this game. He got the goal, he got the assist, he had that footwork, that Messi-esque footwork. I just think he had an absolutely outstanding game, so I'm going Mo Salah.
Very good.
Okay.
Right.
I'll echo that and say, again, I have a bunch of honourable mentions. I think Fabinho made some crucial saves, looked on it all the time. Hendo looked solid for most of the game, dipping back and forth when he was needed. Even Salah, I mean, that means I'm not going to give it to Salah, but, you know, he was on it, he was switched on, he got the assist, as James said, and the goal. But I'm going to have to give it to Kelleher. I think he made some good saves, he made some, you know, good choices in terms of long balls, and just generally stayed on it, made some good decisions. There was one key decision where I think it was a corner from them. He ran out initially, I think he was wanting to grab the ball, realised it was probably a bit too high, so mid-jump made the decision to just push it out instead. And it's like, that type of decision making in that split second, key. So I'll have to give it to Kelleher.
Okay. And again, I'll echo everything you've said. I don't particularly feel like anyone had a particularly bad game. Maybe aside from Mane, it wasn't a good game for him, in my opinion. Want a special mention for Bobby. Loved everything he did. Plenty of fancy footwork there too. Mm-hmm. And as much as I agree with everything you've said, I thought like there was a lot of good performances. I'm going to give it to Joel, man himself, because I feel like he's having a decent run in the team. He dealt with everything. Joel with the goal. He dealt with everything he needed to. Big goal, great to see it, and please stay fit and keep defending. Cheers, Joel.
Yeah, and I just also want to say one last cheeky little shout out to Nelson Semedo.
You are our man of the... No, yeah, I mean, again, everyone in the team
well
had a
done
good
for
spell.
scoring in front of the cop. I know it was a special moment for you.
You live in the dream, lad. You live in the dream.
Like, I want to bang one in front of the cop.
I want to get this reaction. Boom. Yeah, no,
Right.
everyone played well. Everyone looked on form. It was a very tough decision. Obviously, we all had a bunch of honorary mentions. But yeah, I think everyone that we've listed deserves it. I can't argue against anyone.
Right, shall we look
in
at
those lists?
Michelin?
Yeah. So,
Yes.
I mean, I just hope. I mean, the group's done. They've won. There's some pretty tough games coming up. In a short spell of time. So I would probably, in my opinion, I would play a lot of the youngsters. I mean, play a full team of youngsters if you want to. I'd probably keep Kelleher in goal, play Tsimikas, Nico Williams, Reece Williams, maybe Billy the Kid, or
Just fill it with kids.
I don't know. There are youngsters in the midfield ranks, but I forgot all of their names. But
I mean, I'd definitely play Taki.
yeah, I mean, absolutely, I'd give Taki, and if
Although
I didn't see him on the bench today,
I'd
I'd give Taki and Origi maybe 90 minutes.
Yeah,
if they,
And I mean, is Shaq still injured?
I think so.
I was going to ask this when we did the predictions.
I presume he is.
Yeah. I think when Klopp said, I mean, he mentioned that he was still out. That I think he said the closest person to return is Ox. So if he is, maybe he might come on for a cameo.
Yeah, I feel like if Ox is fit, they'll bring him on at some point just to get a few minutes run out.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried. That's, I think, early kickoff Wednesday. That's 5 to 6. But again, nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing to worry about. I mean, it's a nothing game. Yeah. I mean, I hope whoever needs minutes gets
people
minutes.
People rested. People who need it are playing.
Yeah.
And,
rest who needs resting.
Yeah.
Give minutes who needs minutes, and try to not get injured. And otherwise, it doesn't really matter, to be honest.
Play it safe. Yeah.
I just hope that if you do play other kids, they don't get battered, because I don't want them to be disheartened. But
yeah,
I feel like they'll give it a good go. I feel like hopefully anyone that gets a chance grasps the chance with both hands and gives it a go.
And tries to like the rest of them.
So then coming up to Fulham away Sunday afternoon. So Fulham have. I think Fulham have been a bit unfortunate at times, but also, I mean, you're looking at a team here who would have gone into the season and still up at to retain the title, still want to compete at the top level. So I feel like you can't really sit and worry about Fulham. You have to beat Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham's a must-win. I mean, we're talking about a team that's just beat Wolves 4-0, so.
Yeah, so I think recently, Fulham have lost to City away. They beat West Brom. They beat West Brom at home, but we all know from today how good West Brom are. Poor West Brom.
Or was that 5-1?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Before that, they lost to West Ham away. They've lost to Everton at home. So I mean, I feel like if Liverpool don't get a win out of this, they've been disappointing.
Yep.
So, score predictions.
Well, do we want to do Michelin score predictions first?
I mean, very, very true. I mean, who knows?
It's very hard to predict because we don't even know what that team is going to be. But
well, we can be a bit more lenient with this one, so I'll start you off with some ideas on how lenient we can be. I'll say 2-1, and then I'll say if Shaq's playing, he could get one. If he's not, I'll say it's Origi. I'll say the second one is Jota.
I'll go 1-0 Minamino.
I'll go 1-0 No, I'll go 0-0.
I thought you were about to say fucking 1-0 Kelleher then.
No, I was going to say 1-0 Thiago. No. I'll go 0-0. I think the kids will play, and I think they'll see. I mean, there's nothing in it for Michelin. There's no need for them to really play, to be honest with you. They're out.
No, they may as well rest as well.
Yeah, I mean, they probably have matters in the league to deal with themselves, so it's pointless really them doing much. So Fulham, I'm going to go... Ooh. You know what? I'm going to go with my gut on Fulham.
Okay.
Go on.
My gut is Liverpool will win 4-1. Goal for Mane, Salah, Bobby and Jota.
So all the front four.
Mm-hmm. That's what came to mind. That was my instinct reaction.
I'm going 3-0. Mane, Salah, Jota.
Mine is literally the same. Literally the same.
Okay.
Well, we're all expecting big things then, so it's going to be a good
We're
game.
all expecting big things. So that is, was it, when did they say it was? Was that Sunday afternoon?
I don't remember. I'll find out for you now.
Sunday at 4:30, Sunday the 13th of December. So we will see you back then, or Sunday evening, Monday mornings, Monday daytime, sometime around then, where we will cover Michelin and Fulham ahead of a busy spell for Liverpool, who I think then face, was it Spurs and Crystal Palace, I think?
Yeah.
So,
Gonna be a big one,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so hopefully we come through the next week without any injuries.
Hopefully Ali's back for Tottenham, but we'll discuss that next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you like listening to us babble on about Liverpool, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and slap that bell, and we will see you all very soon after we discuss Michelin and Fulham.
Indeed.
Well done it.
Bye for the
night.